New Orleans, America's most unique city. Welcome back to No Passport Required, where you can travel the world from the comfort of your favorite chair. You don't need a passport to find centuries of history, world-class food, and a culture that's truly a world away. You don't have to cross an ocean to find a place where the air itself feels different, thick with magic, music, and the smell of sweet olive and savory spice. If you want to understand just how beautifully different America can be, you have to come to New Orleans. So, forget the basic guidebooks, we're going to experience what makes this city tick. That's right, we are in New Orleans, Louisiana, standing in the middle of the legendary French Quarter. And on this trip, I'm taking you on a bucket list adventure to prove that sometimes, the most incredible and exotic places are hiding in your own backyard. We're going to get to know the real New Orleans, from its world-famous food to its haunting history and the music that is its soul. To really get New Orleans, you have to walk its streets. And I don't mean rush from one spot to the next, I mean stroll, just let the city happen to you. The French Quarter, also known as the Vieux Carré or Old Square, isn't some theme park version of history. It's a living, breathing neighborhood, and its story is written on every single building. Now you hear French Quarter, and you probably expect French architecture. But here's the first secret. What you're looking at is overwhelmingly Spanish. After two massive fires burned down most of the original French buildings in the late 1700s, the Spanish, who were in charge, rebuilt the city in their own style. That's where you get these gorgeous hidden courtyards, the vibrant pastel stucco walls, and the grand archways that define the look of the quarter. It's a mix of everything, French, Spanish, Creole, and American, all wrapped up together. The heart of it all is Jackson Square. Standing here, you can feel the weight of history. The square is dominated by the stunning St. Louis Cathedral, whose triple steeples are the city's most famous landmark. It's flanked by the matching Pontalba buildings, some of the oldest apartment buildings in the entire country, and the Cabildo and Presbytere, where the Spanish government used to run the show. This very spot has seen it all, from colonial ceremonies and papal visits to artists selling their work and jazz musicians providing a daily soundtrack. But the real magic is in the details. As you walk down Royal Street or wander the quieter side streets, look up. The decorative ironwork on the balconies is world famous. You'll see these intricate patterns of vines, flowers. There's even a famous one with cornstalks, celebrating a good harvest. Each one is a work of art, and the signature of the family who lived there, all while creating shade for the sidewalks below. It's this unique look that makes you feel like you've stepped onto another continent, and then, there's the history you can actually touch. Just a short walk from the square is Lafitte's blacksmith shop. It's a dark, rustic bar, and it's one of the only buildings left that shows what French colonial architecture looked like before the fires. Legend says the pirate Jean Lafitte used it as a front for his smuggling operation. When you're sitting inside with only candles for light, you can feel that history. You feel the centuries of secrets held in its walls. And that's the thing about the quarter. History isn't just in a museum here. You can actually sit down and have a drink with it. In New Orleans, food isn't just something you eat, it's a main character in the city's story. It's a language, a religion, and a reason to celebrate. The food culture here is legendary, blending French techniques, Spanish spices, West African soul, and Caribbean flavors to create something you can only call Creole. Our bucket list of bites has to start with the most iconic New Orleans treat, the beignet. And yes, you have to go to Café du Monde. It's been open 24/7 since 1862, and there's pretty much always a line. Quick tip, the line moves fast, but if you want a more chill vibe, try going late at night or super early in the morning. When that plate of 3 hot, puffy donuts lands on your table, buried under a mountain of powdered sugar, you'll get it. It's messy, it's amazing, and it's pure happiness. But don't overlook other spots like Café Beignet, which a lot of locals love for its charming courtyards and live jazz. Next we go from sweet to savory with a big bowl of gumbo. There's no single right way to make gumbo. Every family and every chef has their own secret version. It might be made with a dark smoky roux, chicken, and spicy andouille sausage, or it could be a seafood gumbo packed with shrimp and crab. It's the official state food of Louisiana, and it tells the story of the state's cultural melting pot in every single spoonful. You also can't leave town without trying a po' boy. This isn't just a sandwich, it's a New Orleans institution. It's served on crusty French bread and can be stuffed with anything from fried shrimp and oysters to hot sausage or debris roast beef, which is beef slow cooked until it falls apart into its own gravy. The name supposedly came from a streetcar strike back in 1929, when a restaurant gave these huge sandwiches to the striking poor boys for free. And if you're here during crawfish season, you have to experience a crawfish boil. This is more than a meal, it's a party. Pounds of fresh crawfish are boiled with potatoes, corn, and a secret mix of spices, then dumped onto a newspaper-covered table for everyone to dig in. It's a hands-on, messy, social feast that perfectly sums up the spirit of the city. For a true deep dive, you have to eat at a festival. The French Quarter Festival is the largest free music festival in the South, but it's also a massive food festival. Over 50 local restaurants set up booths, serving everything from jambalaya to crawfish-stuffed merlotons. It's the perfect way to sample the best food the city has to offer, all in one place. If you're loving this guide to America's most unique city, and you agree that the best adventures are often closer than we think, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're all about uncovering these domestic, exotic gems, and you're not going to want to miss where we head next. Now, as the sun starts to set, the French Quarter is about to show us a whole different, more mysterious side of its personality. When the sun goes down, the energy in the French Quarter totally changes. The gas lights flicker on, the sound of laughter pours out of bars, and the city's real soundtrack, live music, takes over. This isn't a place where music is just background noise, it is the city's heartbeat. You hear it everywhere. A full brass band might just pop up on a Bourbon Street corner, or you'll hear the soulful sound of a clarinet drifting out of a hidden courtyard. Just outside the quarter is Frenchman Street. This is where locals and smart travelers go for the real-deal live music experience. It's a whole strip of clubs, one right after the other, each playing a different flavor of jazz, blues, or funk. You can just wander from one club to the next, following whatever sound grabs you. But even on Bourbon Street, in the middle of all the chaos, you can find incredible musicians. This is the street where jazz was born, after all. But the New Orleans night holds more than just music. It holds stories, ghost stories. This is known as one of America's most haunted cities, and the French Quarter is ground zero for all things paranormal. The history here is so long, dramatic, and filled with such tragedy and passion, it feels like some of the residents just decided to never leave. You can feel that spooky energy in bars like Muriel's on Jackson Square. It's said to be haunted by the ghost of a former owner who lost the house in a card game. To this day, the restaurant keeps a table permanently set for him, with bread and wine. And then there's Lafitte's blacksmith shop, not just one of the oldest buildings, but one of the most haunted bars, where people report seeing shadowy figures and mysterious glowing eyes all the time. Of course, no ghost story tour is complete without a stop at the infamous LaLaurie Mansion. The horrific stories of what happened inside those walls back in the 1830s have made it a legend of American horror. You can't go inside, but just standing out front is enough to send a chill down your spine. This supernatural side is a huge part of the city's identity, tied directly to the lore of voodoo. The tomb of the legendary voodoo queen Marie Laveau in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is a pilgrimage site. Her story, a mix of history, magic, and folklore, is the perfect example of how, in New Orleans, the line between the past and the present, the living and the dead, is beautifully and mysteriously blurred. This combination of a wild nightlife and haunted legends creates an atmosphere you just can't find anywhere else. It's a place where you can dance to a jazz band one minute and listen for ghostly whispers the next. So, have we made the case? Is New Orleans America's most unique city? We've walked through streets that feel like a living museum. We've tasted a cuisine so unique it's like its own language. From the sugar rush of a beignet to the soulful flavor of a gumbo. We've let jazz carry us through the night and stood in the shadows of buildings that hold centuries of secrets and ghosts. This city is proof that you don't need a passport to find a place that feels completely different, a culture that is rich, deep, and entirely its own. The French Quarter is a reminder that incredible adventure, history, and world-class experiences are waiting right here. It's a total sensory overload in the best way possible. It's a city that grabs you and never really lets you go. It's complex, it's beautiful, it's a little wild, and it is absolutely unforgettable. So I have to ask you, how many of these bucket list items have you checked off? Or what's the one thing you'd want to do first? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for coming on this journey with us. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. Please like, comment, and subscribe.